This.
Okay. Cool. So, how's your week been?
All good.
Yeah?
I'm actually lying. I'm actually
That's why
lying.
I'm
That's
looking
like a
at you like
standard.
that.
That's like a standard answer. That's why
Yeah.
probably yeah.
Yeah.
It's been challenging, very challenging, and yeah, I'm surprised I made it till Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going for better direction. I'm
I hope.
hoping.
I don't know. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's just so much happening. There's like a lot happening.
Wow. It's not always gonna be. Right?
Yeah, I guess but pretty much
Changes
this
and
has
all.
to be the most challenging period of my life.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how hard it is,
Yeah.
how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like it's really even now like it's still not okay. But like I'm just saying, the whole week was just very challenging because since
Yeah.
from Monday, you know, things haven't been okay. So actually no, since from Sunday. So
Yeah.
yeah. And how's everything outside?
Yeah. You know how I always am like, all good. Okay.
How's everything?
It's been fair. It's also been one of those stressful weeks, dampening kind of. Then I had some great moments too that, met up with a few old friends and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I guess there's always some beauty to life, right?
Of course, you always have to look at the better side all the time, no matter what shit you're going through. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, because I've been going through this, what I've been going through the whole week and all of that, it's just it made me think of what better way to talk but to talk for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it is just a very important concept or an important thing, and also why people do it.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, life will actually throw you a lot of things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you just never know what to do, but most of the time, whenever you realize the only option is to forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so I don't know, it just crossed my mind, and I figured, why
We
not?
talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the only
sense.
thing that was, you know, crossing over.
Makes sense. I mean, there's always going to be shit thrown at you.
Just,
Yeah.
but here's the thing as well, because I don't mind shit being thrown at a person.
Okay.
It's just that kind of shit, though. If you get what I'm
What
saying,
you mean
like,
that kind of?
the impact is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So
like
you're trying to say there's some things that you just brush off?
there's some
and then
things
there's
that
those
not
that-
necessarily brush off, but like there's some things that happen and you can deal with them, and they don't necessarily require much of you. You know, maybe a piece of you, but like it's a little
Yeah.
different when something happens and it requires everything you have. Yeah.
That's when things really test you. And
Of
that's when your
course.
ability to forgive is actually tested.
Yeah.
Because, like I said to you before, there are moments where you're actually confused if you've actually forgiven or if you still hurt about an issue. And yeah,
But you can be hurt and forgive. Hey, you can.
you can be
hurt.
hurt, but I feel the concept of forgiveness is that once you forgive,
You heal.
yeah,
Serious.
yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, right?
Because I just believe that you can be hurt, you can be troubled, right? But you can still forgive, because at the end of the day, you're allowing yourself to move forward. For me, I don't necessarily say.
But when hurt is still there,
Then
are you moving forward?
Of course, maybe slowly, or you moving forward with the pain that whatever it is that has happened actually has caused you, and I guess you realizing the bigger picture, but you just you're trying to actually lessen or actually make the burden
Mm.
much better on the other side.
I see what you're saying.
Mm.
But I think I would describe it as, you know, like when you have a wound
Mm-hmm.
and it pains, it's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And after it's healed, there's a scar. So moving forward is actually having that scar and knowing
Mm-hmm.
what it did to you or what are the consequences of something like that if it should happen again. But I feel like still being in that hurt stage,
Mm-hmm.
you still haven't moved past that healing stage. And hence it's not exactly
forgiving.
yet forgiving.
That's what you think?
That's what I think, because it still continues to, like, you still continue to think about it. It's still like it hurts
But that
you.
doesn't mean you
It's,
forgive, though.
are you sure?
Because I mean, you can forgive. Like, okay, this is what I want to like
But the
emphasize
chapter's
on.
not closed and the wound is not.
But you can still forgive.
in
You know,
one
it's like forgiving what hurt you, but not forgetting what it did to you. You know, or not forgetting the incidents that took place whenever that happened. You know, it's like, you know, I'll forever remember, because this is something of essence. Like, for instance, how you described the whole wound thing, right? When you look at that scar, you remember what exactly happened. It's not like you forgot about it,
Exactly.
right? And sometimes maybe if, like, let's say it was so bad, let's say it's an incident wound, it literally takes you back to relive that moment, how you felt, you know, how you felt that, I don't know, you're about to lose it all and all of that. Like, you're reliving most moments, but it's not that kind of like you would want it to happen again. I don't know. That's-
I guess we look at it from
Yeah.
two different
But I understand
standpoints.
why would you
Why
say
I'd say that
I'd
probably
actually-
forgiveness
yeah.
is when you no longer hurt.
But, yeah, I'd refer that to that concept that you said, that I'd refer to as healing or being healed, not necessarily like forgiveness, because when you confirm that you healed,
What's forgiveness? What's forgiveness to you?
to me,
Yeah.
that's a good question. To me, it would have to entail that's a good question, actually. It would have to entail trying to move forward
Yeah.
and letting go of what has caused you pain or hurt you. That is forgiveness. So basically just releasing the burden off your shoulders. What would you say? What would you say?
Yeah, basically the same thing. The one part that you like mentioned, that's letting go of the pain that hurt you, type of thing. And that's why I'm, said what I said previously as to
If you have inhaled, then it's not forgiveness.
yeah, that's how I feel. And
Yeah.
I convince people, like, let's say there's a situation going on where someone knows, let's say we three, right? Someone betrayed me, and then this person is like, you have to forgive the person who's betrayed you. And I'll be out there like, no, I've done it, I've forgiven, and all of that. But if you still like continue to think of it, if it still continues to bother you when you see that person, or you're just like engulfed in all that misery and all that,
Here's the thing.
that's not forgiveness.
I think in that essence, let's say you see this person, there's two things. When you see this person, if you still want to kill them or hurt them or cause them the pain that they've caused you, forgive. But if you see this person and you still maybe feel that hurt, but you don't let it control you, you don't give it power, then I feel like you forgive, because at the end of the day, you're wishing nothing but good for that person. Although you haven't forgot what they did. Because like I said, you probably live certain moments, right? But if your soul still feels like it was betrayed and you still want to kill this person, you still want to revenge yourself, then that is not forgiveness. So I guess, actually now going back to your question, what is forgiveness? Is
Not wanting to retaliate.
Exactly. Yeah.
In addition to that,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
Or that, actually, that answer,
Yeah.
not wanting to retaliate, perfect as is, that is
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Yeah,
That is forgiveness.
true.
That is forgiveness.
That makes sense. But I still feel like it can still get complicated because
Yeah.
I know at the back of my mind that there's this saying where it says, like, okay, this got to do with revenge. Okay, like if you're planning on having revenge, then you need to dig 2 graves.
You were saying
Because
that.
yeah. Same with forgiveness.
Yeah.
If you don't forgive that person, or if you're planning to retaliate, then it's just, not only will it obviously hurt that person because you're going to do the same thing that they did to you,
but it will kill you too. Yeah. So,
but at the same time, I can have that
to
back
to revenging, right?
Yeah.
It all ties down to you actually revenging yourself or for yourself, right?
Yeah. But at the same time, I can have that at the back of my head, but still haven't forgiven that person. Like, stay away from.
That's what I was saying. That if that's what you're having still at your back of your head, then you haven't forgiven. You haven't forgiven that person or that thing that actually caused you pain, right? Because you still want to do harm unto it. But if you don't necessarily want to do harm unto it, but you still haven't forgotten what it did to you, but you wishing nothing but good, then
you've probably
you have forgiven. Yeah.
What about the process of forgiving?
Yeah, I feel like that one is like the most hardest shit because it's gonna you question a lot. You know, you question a lot of things. You question why should you even forgive this person or this thing that actually caused you pain, because it's like, why? You know, you've done all of this knowing exactly what are the consequences, but yet you want me to forgive you. Why? You know, I feel like that one, once you get your why, it's like you've succeeded. You know, you've succeeded. You've literally crossed so many stages.
What is that why can't be answered? For
instance,
murder.
You see, that's what I was
murder,
saying now. Like if the why can't be answered, or if it can be answered, you've succeeded.
Because you just reminded me of some documentary that I watched, where a lady lost her daughter. Her best friend killed that daughter.
The daughter, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a guy involved apparently. They were fighting over a guy or whatever. But just dissecting the why, because she got an opportunity to meet this woman face to face. And I'm watching, not in the situation, but I couldn't think that there's possibly ever an answer as to why she would want to. Yeah, or why, like, you
didn't see it.
I didn't see it, and you know, everyone around that woman was like, you gotta forgive and stuff, but I feel like there are just some forgiveness is important.
The why, yeah.
The why.
But I think with her, it was more of the why. Why should I forgive the person?
Like, how would you justify that?
Because
or how would you find a why?
Your why. Here's the thing: with every situation where you need to forgive, your why is you need to
let go.
Not even let go. You need to allow yourself to improve. Because if you're not seeing the reason of why, then you'll always find reasons to hate or to feel pain or to feel, because I feel like once your why is answered, then so much falls into place. Like, so much falls into place because you find more positive reasons to do something than you find negative ones. You know, like for instance, your best friend killed your daughter. these are both people you loved, right? And it's like, why should you forgive? Don't forgive them because they're your best friend. You know, when you forgive because you want to save your soul. You want to save yourself. You want to allow yourself to improve. You're not saying forget that you had a daughter or your daughter was killed by your best friend. So yeah.
And I also feel like people slap the idea of forgiveness like an easy thing, an easy term.
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
you know.
I feel like, also it depends on situations you're faced with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Because you
forgive
can
and
just
you'll
say,
be
yeah,
set
you
free
can,
and
you can just say
forgive
that,
and-
like, just forgive, man.
Yeah.
You'll be good. And until you realize, like, you see, that's why they always say,
And it's
don't
funny
ever
because everyone has gone through something
that
like
needed
this.
forgiveness.
And I do understand that
Not
you're
even
wishing
something.
good for me and stuff like that,
Most
but
things.
just like slapping that thing as if it's easy.
Yeah. Just like everything that you have to work hard for in life, the work of the soul is hard, very difficult. I feel like, and it's one thing that once you've achieved that, it's a little different, and I feel like in that instance where you need to forgive, I feel like everything actually in life, but I'm just saying, your only guidance is wisdom from God.
True that.
Your
That's
only,
actually
yeah,
powerful right there. Yeah.
because trust me, you'll seek for the answers outside. They will not tell you the right ones.
And then suddenly there's just that
They will not.
epiphany or that
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
And it's obviously coming from
Yeah.
God.
And
Where
that's where you see, yeah.
And that's why some people are able to like forgive things like whatever
And
murder
and you ask
easily, and
yourself,
one
yeah,
person
how?
can't.
Yeah.
And you just ask yourself, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, because whenever even those people, you talk to them and you ask them what's their relationship with God, they'll tell you like God is a powerful thing or spirit or whatever it is you refer God as, or whatever the holy power you refer it as, yeah, the relationship has to be strong, and that's why all this thing of forgiveness, right, or this concept, it ties down to so many things, especially faith. Do you have faith that you can forgive? That type of thing. Because if you don't have faith that you can forgive, you probably don't even believe in that.
can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So obviously, the viewers know that we do like pre-think about topics and stuff like that
Yeah,
from time
yeah.
to time. So when I just heard about that forgiveness thing, I literally went to the Bible
He's serious.
and looked up forgiveness.
Serious. That's-
Because I felt like that was like
So
God, like the
It
only
is- it
thing
is so
that
deep.
could ever explain forgiveness or make it easier or whatever
Mhm.
would be the relationship with God and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So the fact that you bring that up and all of that,
Mhm.
it is so deep, of course it
Yeah.
is.
Probably now that you mentioned this, probably the most hardest topic I've ever even had to like work down.
We'll talk about it. It's
We'll
hard
talk
to,
about it,
it's
yeah.
uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know.
I talk about a lot of uncomfortable things, but this one, trust me, has to be the most.
And you don't know how to exactly tackle it because you feel like, if I'm out there preaching how, forgiveness will set you free, which it will. Sometimes you look back at yourself and think, am I being
Are
a
you
hypocrite
even,
in a
are
sense
you even
where,
doing what you say?
yeah,
Yeah.
how many cases have I forgiven, how many haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
So it just brings it back to you and your life journey and just,
But funny enough, I've been great. Now that you reflect on it, I've been great at this forgiving thing. I won't tell you like necessarily deep of what this is, but I've got into a situation where I was confused and I didn't know why what happened and why that person did whatever they did. And you know, it's like, what human can actually do this? Like, you're not a human if you can't do this, you know, because but I got to a point where I was like, I don't understand, or I may not understand, but I forgive you. Because at the end of the day, I'm not you. I maybe wouldn't do this, but you're your own person. So therefore, I forgive you. You know, and I was actually so relieved, cause I meant it. You know, I meant it, and even friendships, for instance. Let's just talk about something everybody maybe can relate to. Friendships. Every time when I would distance myself, or I would pull out of a friendship, it would be for particular reasons, right? But it would. So these are things that I wouldn't forget as a person. Why you did that, right? Or the things that you did. But I'd actually forgive that person for actually being lost to even do that. Like, I'd ask myself, what happened? What space were you in when you actually felt like betrayed me? Because I'm your friend.
I think that's actually important to
Yeah.
sometimes put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Of course.
Even though you think their actions can never be justified. But of course we all think of ourselves as saints, you know, like
I don't think of myself
okay,
as a
I don't
saint.
think of myself as a saint, but I think of myself as
A better human.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe
but then
that's
I know because I'm human, I've obviously
done some things.
done something to someone or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I talk about that issue with someone else, I have a whole list to justify why I did what I did. And in order for that person to forgive me, maybe if they saw things from my perspective, even if it's not right, but what triggered that, what forced that, probably that's a step into understanding the person did what they did, or why they deserve your leniency, or that doesn't even come down to deserving, because you know, like you said, you just need to be able to forgive people.
Yeah.
Regardless.
It all ties down to that bottom line, because yeah, like I was saying, I was using the whole friendship thing. You know, people are troubled. You know, things happen in this world that trouble people's minds or people's souls. People find themselves doing things that they don't even know why they did it. It's like, why did you even do it? And then they wouldn't even tell you. But at that time and space, that person was troubled. That person was out of character. It was not them. The evil was speaking to them, you know. And
that's
so,
speaking to me right now.
you know, so
Yeah.
it's like, you have to understand that maybe they may not be for you anymore, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they played a good part in your life or a bad part in your life, and forgive them for them to feel good. And you can tell them, like, I forgive you. I forgive what you did. I forgive your actions. And trust me, when you mean it, life becomes
So
great.
much more better.
Yeah, you're gonna feel
And
better
forgive
too.
them to recognize the good in them as
Of
well.
course, like that's what I said.
Yeah.
You know, the good, the
They
bad.
may have
Yeah.
been the
Yeah.
best thing for you at
Of
one
course,
point.
At
in
one
time.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the reason why you were friends with that person in the first place. If it was true friendship, of course. There were probably maybe many moments where you guys shared the best times than bad ones. And then some instances, I guess, whenever they happen, the impact is just so impactful that it can overshadow a lot. You know, it can overshadow pretty much everything. It's like you can get to a point where you forget
Yeah,
all the good
completely, yeah.
and you focus on that bad thing. But rather don't do that, you know.
Yeah. Salvage whatever little
Mhm.
good memory that there is.
Yeah, and yeah,
Mhm.
with forgiveness, man. I feel like also it's very it's very great somehow. I feel like even in some instances where you don't even understand why you're even doing it. I feel like sometimes forgiveness makes you do something that you don't necessarily understand why you're doing it at the time, but you probably understand later on because it will
Yeah.
show you
When you look back,
why you
when,
had to
when you
forgive.
see what
Yeah.
you gained
Like
out of forgiving.
yeah. It's like, for instance, let's say out of intuition,
Mhm.
right? You forgive. You like, I forgive, and then somehow good things start happening in your life, but maybe you think it's timing, right? Your life, and that the topic we spoke about. Maybe you think it's timing, and then all these things are happening, and then until you realize, you speak with somebody, you're like, once upon a time, I forgave something or somebody, and then all
It's
these
funny
great things
how, yeah.
are just happening,
Start,
or they start
yeah.
happening, and every
Yeah.
day, and I start even seeing life with a better perspective now.
Mhm.
And you realize, and until you realize in that moment, you're like, you actually forgave, but you didn't understand. But the, situations that happened after, post that, it's like, it's the product of your forgiveness, because it allows you to do a lot,
Mhm.
or things to happen, good things happen.
Yeah, that's why it's emphasized that forgiveness is for the self
Mm.
before anything else.
Mm.
Progress for
Mm.
you don't know, or even like for progress or just changing your mindset. For instance, something happens to you and then suddenly you keep that mindset towards everything else, like you generalize,
Mm.
and that's not good.
Mm.
Like maybe relationships, let's say you hurt, and then you now generalize that from here on. You
Yeah, it's
know,
like everybody's the same.
that guy's gonna do this and then that.
Yeah.
So, and you might be just like robbing yourself of something amazing by thinking that way.
True. And the sometimes the best things, we never realize this, but the best things are around us. We just need to be in tune, like I always say, we just need to be in tune and realize the good things around us, or better things for that matter,
I see
because
what you're saying.
yeah, because at the end of the day, it's good to forgive people,
It is.
It is very good
It is.
to forgive, and once
It's
you do
something
it,
that you should make a priority, to
yeah.
do.
Yeah, I feel like so many people have rage, so many people are mad, so many people are
Bitter.
angry because they don't realize that they haven't even forgave certain things that caused them that pain, that caused them where they are now.
Yeah.
And so many aspects of their lives is gonna be affected because of that.
Yeah.
So
In fact, so many
You know.
issues, social issues,
Yeah.
mental health, whatever, streams or roots from not being able to forgive, because we're all gonna go through whatever.
mm,
But it's just up to us to actually forgive, look at things differently in order to receive different blessings that are gonna
mm,
come your way.
mm.
So yeah.
Definitely. I just zoned out a little, but
I've been zoning out.
I just thought of something
Yeah.
just when you were speaking.
Yeah.
I was just inside myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I'm not gonna lie, this is uncomfortable, but this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad that we don't even keep quiet in between, because uncomfortable topics get you to actually do that, where you keep quiet and you just, it's like, what the hell just happened, or what did I just hear? Because literally, no word of, okay, I wouldn't say no word of mouth, but word of mouth, it's not even emphasizing on how great this is. You understand? Like, so I guess you have to just think about it. Because even the answers that you give, it's like you can't just give answers. Or you can't just say. It's like you have to really, really, really,
Deep, deep.
put that introspection.
Mm.
Because like
You
it
have
comes,
to.
it comes from
It comes from experiences, and you have to think about the sensitivity associated with it.
And it takes you back to where you
once were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel all that pain all at once because it's like all related. It's like it's a cycle. You just feel all those things and it's like, damn. You understand? It's like even after this, meditation is needed.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like meditation is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never say these things, man, but even just now before I came in here, I prayed. I literally prayed, like I had my eyes closed, I had my, I was praying, asking for guidance and wisdom, So, yeah. I guess it's just, like I'm saying, those are the kind of things that they require a different level of you. They require a different piece of you. So, yeah.
Now you just made me shut. Oh God. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. These are like, sensitive matters, but I guess we just have to. That's why we did the podcast. It's like we have to
tackle these things.
Yeah, no matter how hard it is.
About for people who need to hear it, and for ourselves, for society as well.
Because these are like our real life experiences.
Exactly.
And we go through things as people. We're going through shit.
Yeah.
Life is shit on its own.
And we'll never learn or move forward or just have perspective of it if we don't talk about it. So we always have to go back.
You know how I'm always even aware that anything can happen and things could have changed like that, right? I'm always aware, right? Always. But I guess I've just been so happy over the past month or years that whenever that thing happens and it changes you, it's like, whoa. That whoa was like, shit.
What's this? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, man, things literally just changed like that. And normally, I'm talking in an instance where you can be at the top of your game, you can have everything figured out, and shit can just happen out of nowhere. And it's just like, oh shit, So,
nothing's ever promised.
Yeah, so...
And you gotta have that at the back of your head each time.
So, yeah, it's just like, forgiveness is a big thing, man. Forgive whatever that happened, even whatever that caused you sadness. Just forgive it. That thing, just forgive it. Just forgive it because it requires your forgiveness.
True.
Sure.
Because like you said, I'm now bringing back to time of last week. Time is important and of essence, and how you always mention about how you use your time for the right things.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be spending most of your time dwelling on that pain or on that, no matter how much it hurts, but you need to get to a point where you move past that, because now I'm even just putting into perspective the people that I've lost recently and stuff like that. And just how life is not promised and time is not promised. So use whatever you have right now, this moment. Let go of that situation. Let go of, whatever pain that's hindering you. And rather make moments out of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, Yep. I guess yeah. It's just like you gotta let that one breathe.
Yeah, yeah,
Just let everything breathe, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, just give it time. Just
yeah.
if only we could even just throw out a song.
I know,
Just
right?
let everything
I
breathe.
know, right?
Okay, we just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I get what you said, yeah.
You know? But this is probably like one of those podcasts I'd go back and actually watch. I mean, I've watched others, but this one will probably be my weekly motivation. You know, just
Yeah.
watch it and watch it again over and over. Just listen to ourselves and listen to just those things that we're actually speaking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, you mentioned something because I mean, like we always do a section of music,
Yeah.
Within the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. What?
I was just like going back through my playlist,
Okay.
And yeah, it was interesting to see the things I was, bumping to
Okay.
a
Tell
few
us.
years ago, and just this build up of the love of music or
Okay.
a specific genre.
What? Yeah.
So yeah.
What is this genre? The specific genre? Which one?
Hip hop, yeah.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
But I also have a jazz side to me. I come from a very jazz enriched family. My granddad was a jazz musician and all of that, so that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the bubblegum stuff I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this track. Okay, so like my introduction to hip hop was obviously like I don't know if you know Coolio.
Mm-hmm.
That's way back. That's like the 90s hip hop. Because my mom was a hip hop fan too.
Okay.
So I used to listen to her CDs and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
You're like, damn, this is my thing.
yeah, like the beats. And obviously back then, a lot of hip hop was associated with a struggle, a movement, like pro-black, So also the message. As funny as that may sound, because I was probably 5, whatever, but I guess I was always interested in storytelling and literature, and that's something that also drew me into it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Anything you remember in specific?
I always go down my playlists,
Yeah.
because my music is stacked up in my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, always every now and then, probably maybe once every month or twice,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it just depends. I'll just go back into my music and just, listen. And you know what's the thing with me? Music always takes me back to a certain period of time. I don't know, maybe for other people I think maybe that's different, but for me, I remember actual incidents that were happening when I heard that song, and if it stayed with me, and yeah, so it's like, do I need to name drop these?
If you wanna.
Oh,
If you
okay.
wanna, yeah.
No, but it's just because I can't think of any right now. But it's just like a lot of music that, whenever, even music from 2 years ago, sometimes whenever I listen to it, I go back to actually how I really felt
At that particular
time. Yeah,
time.
it takes me back.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I guess that's why I'm always grateful for music, because it always just allows me to relive.
Moments.
That's how sometimes you just always feel like you could relive certain moments and you can't, but
Yeah.
music is like makes you
At
feel
least, yeah.
that
like
you
a
actually
leeway
did.
to it.
You understand?
Have you ever experienced music taking you to the future? Because I remember listening to tracks like New York, Alicia Keys,
Yeah.
Jay-Z,
Okay.
and
Mine
just
Still- Mine Still
envisioning,
Mine,
and just
Of
like
course.
envisioning.
I think
this
that's
bright
initially.
future.
I think everybody, most of the time, majority. Let me just say that's what they listen to music for. That's why some people tell you they listen to music for motivation. They listen to music for answers. So it's always like future based. It's very rare. It's very rare where you actually like people listen to music for the past. Very rare. Very rare. Yeah. If it's for the past, it's like something that happened that hurt them, and then they wanna,
Yeah.
something good that happened and they wanna celebrate it, type. But like very rare. Normally it's just like for inspiration, future things, whatever.
Yeah. So 2 days ago, I was with a friend, and we got a hold of my old memory card. And so Soldier Boy, right? So I was out when Chris Brown was making fun of Soldier Boy. I was out there with him, that whole haircut thing and all of that. But I realized how much I vibed with Soldier Boy back in like primary school and stuff. Like there were tracks.
Of course.
Yeah, that.
Even that song, is it from him? 6, 7, 8, triple 9.
Yeah, yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's from him, right? Yeah, of course. I mean, Soldier Boy is like the god of our decade, of our generation.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I remember my hype song was that Soldier Boy. What we do,
Superman,
what we do.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, even these artists took a lot of inspiration from Soldier Boy. Like there's this line, was his chorus. You know that "Miss Me" by Drake. I say, tell me what's really going on. Jeezy back up in this thing. And there's the Soldier Boy one, which Drake, took. There's like Soldier Boy up in this vision. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's so much inspiration that guy like
actually put.
He was like a god, man, of his time, his period. Yeah.
So just like hit back to me just how much this man actually, influenced.
Yeah. You see, even now, like the whole that song 6, 7, 8, shawty, I miss you. Like it literally just took me back. Like it took me back to primary.
Girlfriend.
No, not even primary. I remember I was jamming this song with my friends in primary.
Yeah.
Literally, I can envision right now
what was happening
when they was even just talking about, why do you even have to give out the number though? That type of thing. What's with the number and stuff like that. Yeah, we're just talking. It's like, I remember those guys, and we're just talking about it. It was during the break, school break, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Music normally for me, the one that resonates, takes me back. It takes me back, literally to that moment, and I relive that moment because it's like that happened.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
You see, for you it's hard.
It's
for me,
really hard.
For me, it hits me like that. Like it's like boom. It's like boom. It hits me like that.
It's so hard because I'm only thinking about like hype songs, like things that would make us like apple bottom jeans, the jack boots with the fur. Yeah. And how we just and just how would vibe, make records to that, be the coolest kids in Africa with those. So but not necessarily
reliving a sense of moment. No.
That's
what I'm saying. For me, I guess it hits me different. Like music hits me different. That's what I always say. That's why for me, when I love a certain song, I love a certain song. Like it's not like necessarily because of the hype. It's not necessarily because they say it's cool. No. It's like if I love a certain album or song, I truly
because of what it's
because of how I feel when I hear it. Because that's what they say. You may forget moments, right? You may forget the happenings, right? But that feeling that you got from whatever it is, you don't actually forget. So it's always bliss when you can remember the moments and the feelings. So it's like bonus. But, But for me, it's always just about how something makes me feel. Yeah.
Any hype songs in particular that you remember?
From what?
I don't know.
From back then?
Yeah.
I remember when Deuces came out.
Okay.
Deuces, Deuces was like a hype song. Yeah. I remember even just local stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, not in particular, you know, I can remember certain things, but yeah.
So I'd actually like to continue with this and find out more, but time is a
yeah.
constant, so yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is it.
Yeah,
This was a bomb ass podcast.
Cool.